Sorry, did I just end the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry for that.
Kita lang duha, ma'am. Nasuod pa silang uban.
Okay. Sorry for that, sir. I don't know what happened.
Makita na yung slides, ma'am.
Okay na, can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me continue. So bigyan ng label, guys. So go to chat and give me the names of the activities. So name the following on the chat. So first one to give me the 5 correct names will receive some Gcash. Okay, let me see your answers. Who's correct in giving his answers? Okay, number 5, Sir Jim. Okay, I will announce later who's the correct one. Okay. So, let's try answering the first. Okay, let's try
Wala, wala
answering.
may kabalaw. Ako
Preserve
kabalaw. Ako
animals.
ready ay.
Saan siya mga preserve animals? Dili or saan preserve body parts?
Let me see if you're correct. Number 1, it's called specimen.
Ah, okay.
Kalimut na mo ani sa inyong science. Number 2. What is number 2? Yes, you can have globe. Number 3. What is your answer for number 3?
Intelligence.
Parts of the brain, cerebral cortex.
We will see later because you have different terminologies. Okay, so good thing that you have an idea on what are the mentality. Okay. Sige, nag-symbolism na si ma'am. Okay, so bigyan ng label. So these are the examples of traditional approach or traditional tools that our teachers usually use in our classroom. They can either be flat pictures, photographs, illustration, flashcards, and posters. So I will review later who got the correct scores or correct name. So now it's close na ang answering part. So flat pictures, we use this one as an image, of course, to give the somehow the bridging of your class discussion, or somehow you can benchmark the beginning of your lesson. You usually, like for example, if you can see in this picture, as they say, picture paints 1,000 words. That is why a lot of pictures is shown on your presentation. It can elicit the creativity, the imagination of your students. And we ourselves, we are made of pictures, we are made of images, and we, as a human being, our brains would basically see pictures whenever we would traverse with some words. We need to enunciate some terminologies that can be difficult to share, but pictures would always have different illustrations and meaning. Same also when you have different language. For example, some Italians cannot understand our words, so we present them with pictures. So in teaching education, in your class discussion, in your training seminar, show a lot of pictures. And how, what are the guidelines? Picture should be clear, it should be seen by everyone. Next is that it should also be a point where you would ask a lot of questions, allow the students to comment, and make sure that you be able to discuss. So there are actually levels of pictures with this one. You can just try to go over with this. Just like this picture, if you can see, it has a different meaning. Now go to chat this time. I want you to give me a meaning on this picture. Sige, in your own way. What can you see on the picture? Yes, happy family, happy bonding, family, happy family. So give me this time one abstract noun that you can describe to this one abstract noun. So if you're the teacher, you can somehow in English, you can say to the students, describe the picture or give me um, your story. Can you create a story for the picture? So it can also be a picture, a verbal prompt for you, or a story prompt for your students in English to generate their own storytelling based from this picture. Or if you go for a values education, there'll be a lot of issues that can also um, branch out from this picture. And as I can see, human development. Naminaw dyan ni siya ni Miss Chini kay human development man. Okay. Photographs. So photographs also same with picture, but this one are taken by camera. So if it's not taken by camera, pictures, and photographs are literally pictures that are taken by camera. So usually this includes human being or with nature, and this also speaks volume whenever we use them with our students. We use them in our teaching strategies. Next, illustrations are somehow reconstruction of the students, like this one. For the students to generate their own understanding, we use a lot of illustration. So we will visit some links on where to get illustrations, where to create our own illustrations, and how we will be making our teaching and learning experience more interactive for our students, especially with the use of augmented reality. So with this illustration also, you can allow the students to be creative. You can create your own stories, just like Tundu. Are you familiar with Tundu, guys? Who among you are familiar with it? So pictures, photographs, illustrations, they elicit so many things, especially in teaching, just like these following. They concretize the words to symbols. They lead us to different meanings. They motivate the students. They would give us some the misconception, they would correct us. Somehow it summarizes the units, and of course it arouses a lot of emotions. We also use flashcards to have some drills, just like what I've shown to you in the picture. So flashcards can either be set of words that teachers use to present to the students what are the strategy or what are the guidelines in using the flashcard. So it should be big enough and it should be a snappy manner. So from back to front. So dapat mukuha ka sa flashcard from back, then i-show nimo sa front. Okay? Especially with numbers and with words. And maybe for we actually have online flashcards making. We will also visit that one, how to make flashcards with the use of Quizlet and quizzes as well. Now, when you use traditional flashcard, it should be on your chest level when you show it to your students, not on your belly button, not covering your face, but in a snappy, quick manner for them to have the drill. Okay, next, posters also are illustrations where it conveys meaning for the people. So you can allow your students to create posters and you can allow your students to use their own creativity. But there's also digital poster making, and there's also a way how to make poster into a digital way. Just like give me tools that you are using right now, like Canva, um,
Photoshop.
Adobe Photoshop, we have Microsoft PowerPoint, we can also have Word Publisher. So a lot of these things are illustrations for your creativity. Now, these examples of poster, you will also try to navigate that one using Canva. So there is also a guideline for creating a poster. Number one, there should be brevity, meaning the meaning of your message should be concise. It should be big enough. So lesser words, less is more. Then simplicity. Make sure that you're able to understand also your poster. The idea should be relevant as well. Now, in creating also your layout, you need to make sure that colors are not offset. You use the color wheel, or in the easiest way that I would use my poster making is I use Canva. There are already templates. There are already different posters that I can use. Color also is very helpful. Like millennials right now, they want it catchy, colorful, vibrant, and moving animations can also help. Display also, where will you display your poster? Is it on a bulletin board? Is it on a is it going to be on just a small band paper, or is it a banner on your Facebook or on your online business account? So it depends to you, and make sure that you follow the guidelines on a good poster. Now, if we are actually on the face-to-face, you're actually required to do this one. This is a traditional way on how to create letters in the event that printers or the font styles that you wanted are not available. So, mo ni siya ang tinambanon nga paghimo sa mga letters. So, we use this the stencil uni stencil approach. So what we do is that we actually supposed to make a ruler, just this ruler kani siya nga type sa ruler. So what happens is that with this this special kind of uni stencil, you'll be able to create your own letters without the usage of printing. But if you have the ability to do good penmanship, you can actually do it, or the traditional cutting way of writing the letters. So this is just a sample. But right now, no, ay mag-print na lang ko, miss. Oy, mag-choose pa ko sa akong own font style or font size. So this is actually the unitencil way of creating your own font, traditional way. So these were some of my activities from my students. So they created from A until Z. So in case maadto mo sa mga bukid-bukid nga mga parts, diba, you can have your own. Next, we also have a lot of materials that we can use, especially when we can recycle materials from our environment, such as box of cigarette, we have cartulinas, we have the calendars, a lot of crayons that we can use. Now, we also have a lot of traditional approach, such as these objectives and specimens that we can use in our classroom. So maybe some of you would be teachers in TLE. So there are so many objects that you need to introduce to your students. We can also have these materials such as the specimen, so the preserved one. In Cebu, the one that is really giving us one of the best set of specimen is University of San Carlos. They have preserved from human fetus, human babies, to the different variety of animals and stones as well. So have you tried visited University of San Carlos Talamban campus? So nandito yung mga babies, na yung mga animals, and they recently have the new renovated museum, the one in the Pelaes or dinha sa Santiago. Bago nila nga museum. It's really nice. Okay, so we use specimen, especially whenever we oh yes, Miss Chessa is from USC. We actually have University of San Jose, they have two museum, the one for the Boy Scout with Sir Damaso and the one at the back of the main campus canteen. They have relics from the Augustinian visit or mga 1500s pa siya na mga treasures, but it's not actually open to the public. So they have small museums also, CUSJR. With other museums around Cebu, we can have Cebu Museum, we have Casa Gorordo, we also have the USP, the one that I've mentioned. STC, they also have their own set of museum. And we can also go to Taoist Temple. They have their own special Chinese elements and characters that they really are well kept. Next, so that those were specimens. So there's also a way to dramatically show a specimen. So dili day pwede nga right there and then i-show nimo ang specimen. So nasa siya yung mga elements or somehow way to present it. First is you should cover it and don't make the students nga ma-excited kayo sila because tendency, especially for young children, they can easily navigate it, no? So make sure there's an dramatic element. There should be art of questioning first. Mag-ask a question before you can present those things and allow them to discover also and to use the specimen. There are also advantages and disadvantages of it. Like for example, it's more on the abstract, diba? According to Edgar Dale, we present more on the direct or the direct purposeful experiences. So since specimens are just more it's abstract, so it's more on activities that can really elicit their understanding. Make sure also that it's helpful for them to learn the concepts. But this one has its own limitations, like you don't have much storage, but then you can always check these elements on the social media, but dili lang sila makatouch. We have models and mock-up. So this one are the following examples. So we have the solid model. So meaning, since we cannot really touch them in the real sense, we just have this edited reality, like these elements that you can see. They have their own external feature. Then we have the cross section where they can cut it, just like in elements or illustrations or toys for the young children. So it's actually a good way for our children to be exposed with these kinds of materials, kanang ma-separate, and then there will be a revelation or what are those parts. Construction models also, which is very relevant or very evident in the laboratory, in the social science laboratory. We have this one, a lot of this. We were exposed to these things when we were still in elementary or high school. We also have these working models. So if you're working in a company, especially for the senior high school, they are actually exposed to a lot of these mga 3D models, or what we known as the design teaching models, which our students are, they are well versedly exposed to this one. Even others can work in certain companies to test their vocational courses. Mock-up activities also are also presented for our young children. So there are also limitations, like it's expensive, it's bulky, and some cannot be able to handle it. Now, the next picture, this one is actually a diorama. So this one works best for young children, but for young adults or young professionals, what they usually do is they would create this one as a model for either mga realtor or kanang mga sa housing or mga condo units. So they have their little diorama used for their businesses. But to really be helpful in their educational system, we use little dioramas. Engineerings will have a lot of these dioramas, which are very expensive, especially little elements. Now we also have some puppets. There are actually different types of puppets, like the shadow puppets that can only be used by the medium of light and shadows. We also have rod puppets where we can expose our young children to create some funny caricature, funny pictures using rod and control its movements. We also have hand puppets, which is very relevant for young children, for storytelling, for young children would know that animation, even if they are not really real, is still alive. You can trick the young children. For young people, sometimes it will not work anymore with puppets. Now we also have some glove puppets for young children. Same with storytelling. It's very attractive, especially if you can play along with your voice. There are also advantages and limitations in using the puppets. At the same time, the principles and what you're going to do and go over about. Now, simulations are also helpful so that you can also make sure that your students are learning a lot from those activities, like simulation in giving the CPR or the games that we usually do, or the augmented reality. So games are helpful for you, especially if students are not moving physically. Like what you've mentioned, that Larong Pinoy are somehow put into, it's already compromised since young children doesn't know how to do it. But don't you know that games are also helpful in refinement of our activities? Now, this time around, I will introduce to you another game that is called the, are you familiar with quizzes?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. So with quizzes, you can use that one or you can go to Kahoot. Are you familiar with these items?
yes.
Yes,
Miss, wala
right?
ka share screen?
Again, wala ko nag-share screen.
Ah, okay.
Not sure if ang uban familiar, ma'am, pero
Okay, now I'm chatting to you. Now this time around, we will go to peer deck. Okay, allow me to, okay, give me a moment.
Yeah, peer deck for Google Slides mo.
Yes, we can use peer deck
Ano
for
siya?
our Google Slides, or we can use peer deck to make sure our learning content will still be interactive. Now, so this is an example of peer deck. So what we usually do with peer deck, it can either be used at the beginning of your lesson, during your lesson, and during your ending of your discussion. So this time around, um, I want you to join in. Go if you have your cell phones, or if you have your, maybe your laptops with you, you go to joinpd.com and go to this NLBQKZ code. I'll wait for you to join in and answer the activity. Okay, are you there, guys?
Not yet, Miss.
Okay, go to joinpd.com and use this link, NLBQKZ. Okay, so this activity is helpful especially for your students if they can navigate online tools. So this tool is helpful especially also when you want to ask your students regarding your topic or your discussion for the day. Sige, who among you are joining?
Loading pa, miss.
Okay, so
Loading pa siya, miss.
sige,
In
no.
ako, miss.
Nagawas akong gibuhat. Sorry, ma'am.
So
Dili
it's
series.
okay. So as you can see here, your students' output can be easily published whenever you allow them to use this activity. So it's also a metacognitive log, meaning students will have the thought on the way they've learned for today. So it's thinking about thinking. Okay, where are your answers? So you can use this one, peer deck, for your students. So all you have to do is it would ask you sometimes to join or log in as a teacher, and when you try to log in you can choose any prompt. So you know students, whenever they have something new, they would basically be engaging, or you can sometimes allow them to really have a pause and reflect on their lesson for the day and how it went over for that activity for them. Okay lang ba? Okay, are you still with me, guys?
Yes, miss. What are we supposed to do,
Yes,
man,
ma'am.
miss?
Yes,
Okay.
miss. Nalala, miss, ha?
Okay. No problem. Sige, are you there na on peer deck?
Not yet, miss.
Yes, are we going to answer it?
Yes, please. So that I can see also. Okay, next meeting, I think we're almost running out of time. Okay, before I would let you go, I actually have some okay, I have a problem. I cannot go back again to my slides. Okay, can you tell me what you can see on your end?
RedTech DPE exit pass.
Google Classroom?
Yes,
Google Docs, sorry.
Google
Google
Docs.
Docs form.
So I will be giving to you this EdTech DPE exit pass for you to help me out on what are those things that we need to improve for this activity and the lessons that we will be traversing next meeting. So next meeting will be a lot of navigating with the online tools that we will have. Okay lang ba? So hopefully everyone can really
Yes,
join
ma'am.
us with our
Yes, yes.
um,
Yes, ma'am.
tools that we will be navigating.
Miss, how do we submit?
Okay, I'll
Same
just
type question, ma'am.
which one, ma'am? How do you
Reflect on
Peer
today's
deck.
activity.
Yes.
Is this automatic?
Saan pag-submit?
Yes, it's automatic. I can just see it here on my screen.
So if we leave, then okay ra siya.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, now can you tell me what you can see on my screen?
Still with the exit pass page.
Google
Okay.
Forms.
Google
Google
Forms.
Form.
Sige, no problem with that.
I wait.
Yes, any questions so far? Okay, now with this Google form, just try to check it on your I'll be sending the link
Yes,
on
class.
the EdTech I'm sending it in our Google Classroom. Can you see it, guys?
No. Miss, can you give the classroom number again?
Okay, the classroom code for the Google Classroom, that would be,
National.
can you see it? Is
Yeah.
it flashing on your screen?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Nana.
Thank you.
See sa Google
1005.
Classroom, ma'am.
Okay, so don't worry, I'll be able to check your answers. Okay, any questions so far?
None, ma'am, none.
None, ma'am.
All right, if you don't have questions, we will end our day with a short prayer. I'll make sure sa to answer on the Google Classrooms, that the Google Docs that we have.
This exit pass?
Yes, ma'am. Do you have the link?
Yes.
Okay, I'll also send it na lang on our Okay, it's on our messenger. All right.
Excuse me, Teacher Nat.
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding the reflect on today's activities, where can we save it or just exit it
It's already there.
directly?
Yes, it's
Exit ra, ma'am?
auto save. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So you have your two outputs for today for the meantime. So that would be answering on the Google Docs. That's for our exit pass, and the one on the reflection. Okay ba? Okay lang? Sige. So
Yes.
next meeting, we'll have more of these activities that we need to navigate on the online tools. I really had a great time with you guys. I hope that you are learning. Now, next meeting, we will also continue with the asynchronous and the what is asynchronous and synchronous way of teaching, and learn more of these additional online tools for our classroom. All right, so let's all end our day with a prayer. Heavenly Father, and
Before,
yes, ma'am.
will you be assigning us anything for that next week or any?
There are two things that I had already in the Google Classroom. It's two things. Let me see again. That is about gamify and clean up. Can you see it? Any questions so far?
A link on niya sa kanang recorded video. At least katong uban pod wala makakita o kami pod.
Sige, sir. No problem.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll share the link for the recorded video also, especially there's classmates who are not able to join us today. So for next meeting, just make sure that you're able to work on in helping us to navigate with these online tools. Ana lang for the meantime.
Assignment, ma'am.
Okay, it's actually on the Google Classroom already.
Yeah, well, there it's not showing up, ma'am.
It's not showing up.
It says, woohoo, we don't have work, Joe.
Okay, maybe I place it on a schedule.
Later, next week, 00. New due date.
Can you tell me what you can see on your Google Classroom?
Only the latest one is the forms lang, ma'am.
I think that is on the classwork. Can you check on the classwork? Is it there?
Online tools, direct purposeful experiences. Gamify, is that the one?
Yes.
Usara ang task ang gamify.
Can you see it now? Let me see. Is it reflecting?
Wait sa miss.
It should be clean up and gamify.
Only one.
Only one, miss. It's only
Task
gamify.
to gamify.
Task
Wala
2.
pa na-submit ang usa, miss. Wala pa na-create or na-add.
It's actually there. I can see it on my screen, but I don't know what happened. Okay, sige lang. More Don't worry. So those are the two things. It's clean up and
Okay.
okay. Any
Checking.
questions so far? So first is
None,
you
miss.
go to quizzes. That's your first activity. Then the clean up. We will just do this one next time. The clean up. Okay. And I will ask you also if you can do the rubric. Create your own rubric.
Sige na, ano na lang.
Yes, ma'am.
Apas ako. I'll calculate here. No, I'll go down.
Where do we send the room?
Okay, the rubric also would be here. Okay.
Okay, sige, miss.
I will. Can you see it on my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ana lang. I will edit it later. Okay, so it's actually there for the rubric making on your activities. All right, so that's it for now, for today. Okay, any questions so far before we would end the meeting so that you'll be able to digest what we have for today?
No, all is well. All is well.
Okay, all is well na.
Miss,
Go to
question.
stream again.
Screenshot
Yes, ma'am.
Screenshot among isubmit sa katong rubric making, miss.
Any rubric that you are able to navigate on the rubric making.
So
You can
for
submit
this
to me
week,
the PDF file.
so for this
Pwede
week,
ang
miss,
due date,
ang duha,
ma'am,
miss,
ano?
ang katong gamify and the rubric.
Yes, just for today. So that nasad ko kanang kuan. I will also send to you the rubric itself. Okay?
Okay, miss.
I will update you. For now, I want you to just digest. It's already lunchtime and I really had a great time learning with you guys. I'll see you more and we'll have more of this next meeting.
Thank you, miss. Pari-submit lang ba sa task 1, miss? Kaya wag yapon siya ni gawas. Pero ni gawas ang 1 og 3 out og 3.
Lagi na siya sa kuha.
Wala
Ay,
task
it's
1 lang.
10 p.m. akong nabutang. That's why.
Okay.
Okay, it will just appear, guys. Don't worry. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for today, guys. Thank you for the patience. So this is actually something to do and to work on with technology. So should
Thank
you
you,
have
ma'am.
questions, goodbye and thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.